We're leaving the Bluestone Mill, and I just want to show you. We're on the road. There's a pylon, a little debris pile. Obviously, there's many. They're all the same mining claim, but there's many tunnels, entrances, shafts. Some are smaller than others. Others connect, and those pylons come to the road, which signifies that the mine there may have been an entrance over here below the mill that came out by the mining road. There are TNT boxes. I can see them way out there. We're going to stop at one or two more buildings. I'm not going to spend much time except to take a few photos up here, because you got to. If you're going to come to a place like this, you got to document your journey. One day I'll be too old to walk, and I'll be laughing and looking back at this and looking at the video being like, oh, that was when I was younger and able to climb to the hill. I stood on there. I also stood on a peak today overlooking the entire Yerington mining district. It was pretty nice. But there are some buildings that are up on the hill, and it is important to at least try to photograph them, videotape them. All the places that I go, all the places that I record, half of them either don't exist or they're forgotten. All the places that I post, other people go to them thanks to me, because now they see that they're safe and I bring my family, and so they come out here to enjoy these places because they didn't know about them before. They didn't know that they were safe places to go. But this just goes in a loop, then come up and around, or whatever the case is. But we're going to go out to Pine Grove. Pine Grove was an amazing little ghost town or hamlet or incorporated village. Some people refer to it as a city. I have an extensive history of it, but it won't matter because we're going to a suburb or sister community or sister town, and the name of that today is Rockland because of all the rocks. So it's hard to even say if we'll get up there. I may have to park and then try to GPS. I got the GPS general area because you can see the trail on my GPS. I marked it, and if we have to hike in a couple miles, we got to hike in a couple miles. It's good. It's a beautiful day today. It's about 39 degrees. There's Sangaski Peak up here in the Sangaski Range. I think I was supposed to park here and take that road.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Let me see if it just goes up to the left. Nothing remains of this place, but there is a couple more buildings we can look at. Depending on how good the road is, might have to carry her asses up to the top, but no. Look at the view, everyone. It's a perfect place for a nice 360 panorama. Somebody's been littering. They left a couple piles of boxes and furniture out below. Oh yeah, look. Some stone ruins right below. Oh, I didn't even see them. It's okay, I'll run down and get them real quick. And then there's that building which comes around here. We'll park up here. Oh, there's some old machinery left behind. That goes back, loops back around. I'll check out this old machinery real quick. Wow, this is cool. Wow. Was not aware of this building or this little gem. This is cool, huh? Hold on. You almost hit me, man. Quit horse playing. We're looking for the paranormal and all things strange. Pretty cool. You can see if you walk around the building, it's just a pile of ruins and rocks. A lot of spray paint. There we go. I stood on that peak. Right there, I stood on that peak and I looked down, and there's all sorts of mines, strip mines, dump piles. See the dump pile? I don't see any mine entrances, so I hiked around, didn't find any. So I said, all right, whatever. You know, I got to at least go in one of the mines till it ended. It's pretty cool. See, there's more mines. entrances could be well hidden behind the dump piles or up in the canyon deeper, and then they just dumped a few hundred feet away. You really have to search for mine entrances at a place like this. And we have two mines, the Mason Valley mines, and then you have the Bluestone mines. And there could be other entrances and accessibility. I'm sure I've seen multiple pictures of mine entrances here, but you really have to search well. And then you got to be careful. There's glass and other things that could seriously injure you up here. What is this, a mirror? Holy shit. I've never seen anything like this. What the heck? Oh, that's a bicycle. A mirrored motorcycle wheel. In memory of Dale Myers, the final ride. These riding days will someday these riding days will someday go. Death I fear, but this I know. Riders live, riders die. If my number's called, it's my time to fly. Although I won't be there when you ride again. Have fun, be safe. I love you, my friend. Now raise a glass of Crown, because that's what I'd like. Then get your damn sleep so you get back on that bike. Godspeed. Dale Myers, 1972 to 2014. It's a young guy like me. That's sad. He died doing what he loves. I thought it was a mirror on the other side, and I got closer, seeing it was a bike tire in this memorial that they put in. That's very nice. Look at this rock in the middle window. I win a million paranormal bucks. What are paranormal bucks? Those are possessed here. Are you ready? Oh! One more. I'll even go bigger. Look.
One more try. Third time's the charm.
Oh! No. Oh, that was funny. So we're leaving this large structure. I'm not sure what kind of, like I said, there was a concentrating plant, and it had a couple other, they had the mill, the ore processing, a smelter. So sister town is Thompson Smelter. Some people just call it Thompson, which is north of here. Copper belt stopped in Thompson and here. Sometimes there was too much ore from these mines, therefore they brought it up to Thompson Smelter. Well, we've completed just about every town along the Copper Belt Railroad except Weed Heights and Wabusca area, because that's all ranch land today and everything's trespassing minus the cemeteries that we investigated out this way, which had some of the original pioneers buried here. I gotta go see that wall. I forgot to run down to the wall, but that's okay. I could drive around real quick and photograph it. It's the last structure. There's a set of ruins that looks like a miner's cabin below the plant. Sometimes the superintendents lived in such structures. Not this one, but the ruins I'm going to show you after. This was the vault, I think, where they stored the ore or anything smelted was stored here before it was loaded on the train and then brought up to the Transcontinental Railroad from a spur that ran from the Copper Belt Railroad in Wabusca through the early 1900s. We'll get a couple pictures, but we're almost out of here. This is the vault. Special site. Has to be the vault. It was always a concrete building, about 12 feet by 12 feet or 8 feet, and then they had a big iron door on the front of it. Yeah. Must be the vault that overlooks the mill. Hudson, Ludwig, Wilson Canyon, Nordyke, Thompson Smelter, and Mason, all complete. Awesome. No readings. You can see right here, no readings. But earlier at the mill, it was spiking all the way from 2 to 7. And I wasn't even moving. Nobody was moving any electronics. So there's no reason for the fluctuations. It's weird. It is possible that it's just freak energy in the air, or we have some actual activity. I took EVPs, but it's windy. EVPs do not come out great in the wind. Sangatsky Range, Pine Nuts, then the Sierras. It's multiple mountain ranges. They all run parallel throughout the state of Nevada. If you climb that mountain range, there's another 20, 30 ghost towns. It's just mountain range after mountain range. You can go up in these old wagon roads like we did today. above towns or valleys and expanses like this, and you can visit ghost towns. But we're out of here. We have maybe, this was the vault. We have one more site, and then we're gonna head off to Rockland. My buddy and his wife and sometimes grandkids like to camp there. It's a nice little place. You had to have a vault for the mining company. You had to have it. Like I said, we'll have more history available on our website. I'll post a link to the edition and you can read more. What I do in my videos, I give a brief history of each location, and then if you go to the website, I give a more in-depth history where I'll write an article about the location. That's just the perk of going to our website. You can only get so much from our videos. You got to go to our website. The two go hand in hand together. The videos go with the websites go with the videos, if that makes sense. So we're jeeping. We're at the vault that overlooks the Bluestone Mill, which is just below this hill right here, or debris pile. Went into the Bluestone mine, at least a portion of it. There are other entrances and tunnels. We've explored the ghost town of Mason and its industrial mining district. It's one of the oldest mines and mills in the Merrington mining district. Pretty cool. I would have given more history, but when I had gotten here, I looked and my notes were gone. I'm like, what the hell? It's not the first time this has happened. But I did give you a good general history of the area. Like I said, they had a 6,200-foot tram that led from the mine in this area, loaded it on the Copper Belt Railroad, which probably ran along the bottom of the range because it was too difficult to make it and too expensive and costly to have the railroad come up through the mountains. So they just built it around these valleys at the bottom of the hills or mountains, and then you had trams that connect it. You could haul the ore via ore cart, load it on the trains, bring it up to Thompson Smelter, smelt it. World War I rolled around. It decimated mining in the area. They reopened a few years later after the war. Same thing, World War II came around. Mining and minerals were deemed obsolete at the time. Not necessarily for the war effort, but a lot of miners had gotten drafted, so the mines had to close. Very scenic, very beautiful winter day in December 2015. This is your host, Lord Rick, Santa Claus. I'm out of here. Peace out. Last foundation of the day. We found what we could right below the vault. I'm assuming the vault and this other building were connected to maybe whoever lived at those set of stone ruins. I read there was about 40 people who resided up here. About 40 men, maybe 50 or 60. Then again, I read another place that said Mason had a few hundred residents. One would wonder, but we're out here. It's been good. We're in the Sandusky Mountains. This is our 6th ghost town in the region along the Copper Belt Railroad. We've done a complete history project on it. We've gotten some good ghostly evidence at each location as well, and hopefully this place turns out some good evidence. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org, for your journey and adventure into the unknown.
And I have no data connection, so I can't
Yeah,
get into any.
no signal, no football game. Just have to go home and catch the highlights, huh? No Walking Dead, but we got into the Badlands. Pizza into the Badlands later. I always like coming home, man. I like hiking all day and working hard at these places, exploring, and coming home and relaxing. It's always the best feeling, you know, when you made a day of something, accomplished some places, seen some places, and then you can come home and veg and drink a few beers and unwind and watch your DVR shows. It's kind of fun to do that. I didn't realize there was roads back here until recently, because a lot of those are mines below. Those mines date back from the 1800s. If you look at our website on Thompson Smelter, I talk about these mines because the people that the company that the guy had stock in at Thompson Smelter, they had some of the biggest copper mines in the world. I believe like the Anaconda was one of them. And they bought up all this, and now they do strip mining. And that company's been in since the 1800s. They've been mining and all that. Even if this closed down, there's a lot of new mining claims out here recently, and that's what it is. These are all new mining claims, but you know, the mining's been done in this area by the same company for over 100 years. Those are sandstone.
Yeah.
It's pretty scenic. A lot of sandstone formations. There's just this, I got a photograph, I guess. I don't know what the heck this was. There's a lot of little stone structures out here. Is that EVR or EVP? Damn, somebody beat me. Oh, forever. Somebody beat me to the EVPs out here. No, just kidding. There was 15 to 20 claims or mines, but none other more prominent than the Mason Valley and the Bluestone mine, which connected underground. And some of the dump piles go a few hundred feet long and about 100 feet high, which tells you you probably have miles of tunnels. There's probably about 20 miles of tunnels riddled under the Bluestone Mill. And the one mine, it looked like it dead-ended. You could tell where they stopped digging or chiseling or using drilling and dynamite. You could just see where it tapered off and became more narrow. Like they exhausted their funding or didn't find nothing there. So they decided to build, erect other mines. There's a lot of mines on the hilltops. There's shafts because they did have an elevator type of system and a tram, and it was pretty advanced for its time period. And they lower the men down 600 feet in some areas. So in other words, if you had a mine on the top of this mountain, it went 600 feet down, it may have came out on the other end of the canyon. Because you had multiple levels underground and multiple entrances into this mine. I've only found one entrance. The other ones, I may have to come back here, spend a day of it, hike down in the canyon, deep in the canyon, not above the canyon, and look behind each dump pile and see if I can spot a tunnel system. Because I'm looking to we're going to do the Victorine mine. It has like 50 miles of tunnels, and it is accessible. So I'm looking to kind of I got to go to the right, I believe. I'm kind of looking, yeah, because that leads to the mine. I'm kind of looking to do some mines this spring or later winter. I know 2 or 3 that have miles of tunnels. Supposedly the mines out here, if you can find the entrance into one of them, supposedly some of these entrances go for miles of tunnels. And it may connect with the Bluestone mine still today, but from another perspective. You might run into the Bluestone mine tunnels from the bottom of the Mason Valley tunnels. Or when you go deeper in the Mason Valley ones. I know those are still accessible, but they're hidden over these hills and deep in a canyon, and they're probably behind the dump piles or up some of the narrow washes, which can be very hard to hike up into. But if we hike the Mining District Road, we can get a very close-up look and maybe plan a mining expedition in the future. Because I like to do ghost hunt mines. If you spend 6 hours in a mine and you collect EVPs for 6 hours in readings, there's a 99% chance you're going to get 1 or 2 things that are strange. Whether it's an EVP, you're going to hear a ghost. I've heard ghosts in mines, something to that effect. You're going to get something. Men died in these mines up here, and people today still go in them. They're like me. They go explore, and they don't know their limits. They get lost. They don't mark their territory. I can always mark a scratch on the wall with a rock. They don't mark their territory. And they end up falling down a shaft because they try to go around it or cross, which is very dangerous. It gives out or the wood breaks, it's rotted. They're just not experienced with mines. Don't go where you can't get out of, and play it safe. And then you got to watch for gases too. If you go too deep in, there might be some dangerous gases. Well, we're heading to the ranch land of Mason up ahead. And so it's amazing how up here it used to be a mining city. And when that tapered off, everybody fouled or flowed around Yerington, Mason, and Weed Heights below because the land's fertile, and most of these are ranchers. There's like a few thousand ranchers that live down in this valley, and their family for generations worked up in these mines that go for miles. And to the left, that's a strip mine, a very deep one, a very large one that goes, I'd say it goes for a couple miles. There's 2 different ones here. There's one here, and then you have one a couple miles up the road. But that strip mine's a few hundred feet high, the debris piles. So new mining's been revitalized in the region. And they're still mining copper. A lot of the world's copper probably comes from this region. It's why they call it the Bluestone. Some people call it the Bluestone Mountains here. But I'm glad we completed this place. And you know, I like to do it with my family. We metal detect, we target practice, we hike around, we explore, take photos, have a picnic, make a day of it. That's what families should do. And at the same time, I can cover my journey, and it's exciting, and people get to enjoy it from the comfort of their homes. So we're heading on into it's the Smith Mason Yerington Valley area. It's all kind of, the valleys kind of mesh with one another. But below us is Mason. Like I said, transition from mining to milling. And there is mining done, but they no longer employ the whole town like this place did. It's your founder, Lord Rick. We're heading to Rockland. And happy holidays. But it'll lead us out as long as I'm careful. Wow. Yeah, I think I went around. No, I didn't take that way. Yeah, maybe I went trying to figure out which way I took. I didn't take this road in. I don't remember climbing up. I went smoothly around this. You don't take your mom's Oldsmobile back here, by the way. You can take it down some of these side roads. Trust me. I'm a professional off-road. You can take it on a road like this. It's smooth and gravel. But don't take it down this road. You can almost bottom out. And your mom might be pissed when you put a hole in the gas tank underneath or something. Because I nicked a rock and my Jeep sits a little higher. That's probably where you need the four-wheel drive. Just wanted to add that in. We're out of here on the road less traveled. Bluestone Mill. Conquered, complete, and what an amazing exploration. It's a big mine. A couple hundred feet high, the debris. Imagine if this had tunnels, this thing would have over 100 miles of tunnels. But instead, on the other side is just a massive pit that goes a few hundred feet down. There's a water tank. That's old, rusty and old. It's winter time, so the trees aren't blooming or green. It's very brown out here. But still a cool place. Nordyke's just down the road too. Remember Nordyke? Nice little place with a flour mill. That was cool. All these are sister ghost towns of the Copper Belt Railroad. And I feel so good to know that I have completed at least 6 to 7 ghost towns along this spur before they all disappear. Back on the road. Awesome.